Hey there, crafty friends. This is a YouTube tutorial you've been waiting on. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use your Cricut in Cricut Design Space to make print and cut tags. These tags came out so gorgeous. If you really know me by now, you know that I am obsessed with all the details, okay? What's really exciting is that this tutorial is really slowed down version of how to use print then cut. Listen, when I first started on my Cricut journey, trust me when I tell you, it was extremely hard. I didn't understand anything of print then cut. I couldn't figure out how in the world am I going to print to my printer and have my Cricut cut exactly what I need. It was such a mission, but I promise to make this tutorial very easy to follow. So in the first part of this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make this exact one, but please stick around and stay to the end, because in the end I did like an extra kind of like mini course on print and cut in different scenarios and different settings and different ways to do it, okay? And please stay, because I know that you'll definitely learn something from this video. I love teaching everything crafty, and I'm so happy that we're here on YouTube making long form content. I don't have to rush everything in like 2 minutes like how I do on TikTok. So yeah. Alrighty, so let's jump straight into Cricut Design Space. I went ahead and clicked on images, and I just started looking for something that looked kind of similar to the vibe that I was going for Oscar's birthday party. I found these, just a little heads up, anything that you see with those blue hyperlinks, that means that you could edit them, okay? So that's a really good tip already. So obviously the one that I chose is for the 1963 and the 60. You see how it's outlined in blue and kind of grayed out? That means that you could go ahead in there and you could edit that. So it's very simple. Just click on it or double click and just go ahead and use your keyboard to just type in whatever you want. Okay, so I did it for the 1984, and then now I'm gonna go ahead and edit the number 40, taking out the 60, putting in the 40, okay? So this is just the easier part of this whole process of printing and cutting. But I did want to show this to you guys because there are so many images out there in the Cricut Design Space, you'd be surprised. Now, when we're looking at this, right, you're thinking, okay, this is an image, so it should print this way. If you could see through, as in all the little grids from the actual canvas of Cricut Design Space, what does that mean? That your image, when you go ahead and you click make it, it's gonna cut every single little detail. It's not going to cut out the actual like rectangle of the actual design. It's going to cut out every word, every little squiggle, every little number. So this is why it is so important to learn about print and cut. So let's fix this situation. Going straight into the shapes, I went ahead and got myself a little square. Now remember, you don't have to be committed to that perfect shape square. Obviously we could tug it and make it bigger by just dragging the corners, but if you like, my design is more of a rectangle shape, so if you click unlock up there on the top, you could pull it more upward, wider, longer, however you want, and just have it to the size that you want. So make sure I right clicked, I put it to the back because I want to see my design. I want to see how close this is, and I don't want too much of an offset type looking thing. So I'm really happy with the tightness of this. I'm gonna go ahead and change that background. You don't have to stick or commit to that gray box. You could always change that around. At first I was happy with the whole like white base and then the blue lettering, but then thinking of Oscar's decorations, I thought I should do the opposite. So as you see there, you click on whatever that you need on your layers panel and you just change the color. It's all within one click away. And remember, you don't have to commit to those like basic colors. You can also go into that advanced section and look around and move it around to get your perfect shade. Select it all and hit flatten. Once you do that, congratulations, you officially have a print and cut. It is not going to cut it word by word anymore. Now, when you click make it, which I'll show you now, I'm not going to save this project. It's okay. You see how it comes out like that, like it's ready to print out. I just added 4 to print 4 on one page, and it's going to print and cut it the way I designed it, not cutting out every single letter and every single number. So yeah, I hope that made sense. Remember to stick to the ending because I'm going to break down different ways how we could do print and cut, not just this way. Now this part's really important. You need to make sure that you have the correct printer and select on both of those buttons, Add Bleed and System Dialog. System Dialog is just going to help you kind of customize your print settings, which we always want to do that. So again, it's going to pop up your printing panel. I'm going to go down, make sure the correct printer, because we do have a sublimation printer here too. I'm going to tell my printer where where I'm putting the paper, I'm doing rear tray, photo, best quality always since we are using photo paper and I don't have to touch any other settings. Go ahead and print. But I'm doing several of these, so I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this and print this exact same thing 5 times. Once you're done, hit print, and then now let's go on to the next. Now for this project, I'm definitely using my Canon Pixma. I can't say enough good things about this printer. The quality is just amazing. It is an eco tank style. I'm sorry it's so dusty. I use it a lot. Sorry. But it is eco tank style. It lasts forever. I have regular ink in here. This is always what I use for my print and cut, stickers, things like that. So for today's project, we are using photo glossy paper. Remember, cardstock could work just as fine. It's just the look that I'm going for. I really wanted that glossy, high quality print. Now, disclaimer, I do want to teach you guys something. Not every photo paper is going to work for you for every single project. Let me show you. So of course, the printing side is white and glossy, but the back has, I don't know if you could see it, but the back has like the little mini logos of Canon. For today's project that we're just printing it, and I'm actually going to have a backing of cardstock behind it, it doesn't matter, right? Let's just say that I was gonna do my waterproof magnetic bookmarks. I wouldn't use this brand. I would use my Koala photo glossy paper because the Koala brand does not have any type of marking or the brand name in the back. It's completely like matte. So what I'm trying to say is that if you're trying to do a project that involves photo paper or glossy paper, but you don't want the back to have a logo on it, I would definitely go for that Koala brand. I'm actually recording a YouTube video on magnetic bookmarks and I'll be showing you more about that Koala brand. It's really good, and don't worry, I will definitely have it linked for you below. But for easy little projects, if you have some Canon paper at home or any type that have a logo on it and it doesn't matter how the backing is, you could go ahead and use that one. There's no need to buy a different one. Alrighty, crafty friends, so now my printer has printed out 5 copies of these beautiful print and cut signs that we did print on photo paper. Now remember, we could have done this on cardstock as well. I just wanted the really good quality when it comes to using photo paper. Plus I will have the backing be cardstock, so I just really wanted something like this. Okay, so for now I'm gonna put this to the side and I'm gonna bring out a light grip mat. This light grip mat I have, even though it looks a little dirty, still fairly new, so it's very sticky. Okay, so this is gonna be great. Now when it comes to print and cut, you need to make sure that your image that you printed out is facing the correct way. For example, if I would have put this upside down, my Cricut wouldn't read this correctly because it's not making sense to the Cricut Design Space. So obviously the way mine is set up on Design Space, it's the vintage side facing up. Exactly how I see it on my screen in Cricut Design Space is exactly how I'm going to lay it on my mat. Go ahead and align everything to the way it's supposed to be. Putting it exactly to the corner of this 1x1 right here, making sure it's as even and as straight as possible. And then for my cutting setting, I do have this on printable sticker paper. If I wanted to make these waterproof, I would put a whole sheet of laminate on top and I would be cutting these on a poster board setting like my other video I've posted before on waterproof stickers. But in this case, this is just for decorations, for napkins, so I don't really care if it's waterproof or not. Plus the party's gonna be inside, so I'm okay with this. Of course, we are using my Cricut Maker 3. It's pretty much ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and insert this in here. Then I'm gonna go ahead and click on this flashing button right here, which just means to enter the mat. Now if you notice this little play button is blinking, we're gonna go ahead and click play. And if your Cricut is doing this right now, this is completely normal. Right now it's reading the registration lines. The registration lines are these little black brackets that you see here. These registration brackets or registration lines is what allows your Cricut to know where and when to cut. Done. Now let's see how well this cutting setting was. I'm gonna go ahead and turn my mat over, let gravity do its thing. I'm going to start kind of bending my mat, but I'm not bending it completely. I'm kind of like rolling it like the shape of a C. And then notice how these just pretty much fall out. An absolute perfect cut. Okay, so let's put these to the side and let's keep on working. And then of course, as soon as you're done, we're gonna go ahead and put our mat away. Alrighty, so now we have all 40 of our print and cut designs here on photo glossy paper. Look so nice. So now it's time to assemble, but let me show you what I got so you can kind of get the vision, okay? Keep in mind that Oscar's birthday theme is gonna be navy blue, white, and gold, okay? So for the main dinner table, I got these fancy little napkins and they actually serve as silverware pockets, which I thought was amazing, and they're already folded. I found these on Amazon, okay? Let me show you, hold on. They were at a great price as well. Look at how fancy. It's like an ivory white with the little gold detail. I love it. And to match the whole vibe, I did get all of the utensils in gold, which is why we made these beautiful print and cut tags in royal blue, because I wanted it to kind of match the whole theme. It's gonna look so nice. Hold on, hold on. Let me show you how I would cut this the easy way. Yes, I could definitely use my Cricut to pre-cut this for me, but truly, since this is not such a complicated cut, I would honestly just use my paper cutter, or if not, I would go ahead and just use my vinyl slicer to help me out. So let me show you how I do that. Hold on. Okay, so I pulled out like 6 of them. I kind of wanted to measure how many I could actually fit. So all I did in reality was just cut my cardstock in half. And then every 3.2 inches, I would go ahead and slice. I felt like that was the perfect size because it did leave it with like a little extra border, but it wasn't too big either. And I wasn't wasting too much cardstock either. Did I have to do this step? No. Did I want to? Yes. I do feel like the dimension gives it more look, but you guys let me know what you think. Okay, so now we have our pre-cuts here. Now, how did I attach it to the cardstock? Very simple. I'm getting my handy dandy Gorilla glue gun, and I'm hardly even pressing on that trigger. It's like extremely small amount of hot glue. Truly, this was like the easier way out for me. I could have just used some double-sided tape too. That works as well, but I didn't have any at the moment, so I just used my glue gun. Super easy. I just put a little bit and just place it right on top. It doesn't have to be perfect, just make it look nice. Try to line it up. Now, when it comes to putting on the napkin, I only put it on the top because just in case people want to use the napkin to actually clean their mouths or their hands, they just have to like pretty much flip it up and it'll come off. I didn't want to put hot glue all over a napkin because the whole purpose of the napkin is, of course, to use it. So I just applied this very small amount of glue and then I just put it to the border of where this beautiful gold rim is. Now, I got these beautiful gold utensils on Amazon as well. Amazon is really killing it, let me tell you. They have so many good deals and I got all of this for a really good price, so I'm very happy about it. But look at the completed look. I was so impressed. I was so happy. Like, it's just the little details is everything for me, especially when it comes to like a surprise birthday party or a big event. And to think that we could do all of this at home with our Cricut machines, I mean, come on, this is like amazing. Okay, I always get the most compliments and I love it. So who's ready for class? I'm so excited. Okay, so I just typed out my name, Annie Cricket's DIY. I'm going to the shape section. This is very similar to what we did earlier, but with a twist, okay? I'm going to grab my little rectangle and I'm going to go ahead and unlock it. Where you see size, there's a little lock sign. Click on it, unlocks. And I'm going to start stretching this out. I'm going to send it to the back because I want to see exactly how my name fits within that rectangle, right? It's kind of hard to see it if you don't send it to the back. So I'm here kind of manually tightening it up, seeing it to how I want it. And just know that that gray background, again, you do not have to commit to it. Just click on it where it says rectangle basic cut and change your color to whatever color you want. Now, let's say I'm ready and I want to hit make it, right? Because it looks like a print and cut to me. We have 2 layers on there. If I hit make it how it is right now, your Cricut is going to tell you to cut in 2 different ways. Your rectangle separately, and then, of course, your green lettering, which makes no sense. That is not a print and cut. So what you always have to do is you have to select it all exactly how I'm doing. Select it all, highlight it all, and then remember, attach and flatten is not the same. I just clicked attach, and you saw what happened. Select it all and hit flatten. What flatten does is that it pretty much combines those 2 layers together. There's no way that your Cricut now is going to cut it letter by letter. Now your Cricut knows, okay, my crafter owner doesn't want me to cut this letter by letter. They want me to print this out and they want me to cut around the whole rectangle perfectly. Okay, super important. Now, let's say, remember, every time that you flatten something, it gets really, really flat, right? So there's no like dimension. If you want like a really, really tight borderline, I highly suggest using some offset settings. I love a good 0.014 or 0.056 or 0.042. It's a pretty nice border. It's not too much because watch, once I put that back on, I'm going to put on offset at 0.014, and when I hit apply, it doesn't look so bad. But when I select it all and when I flatten it again, it gets even more thinner. So always keep that in mind. Always go a little bit more thicker because when it is time to flatten it, it's going to be really thinner. And by the way, the offset layers, you could also change those colors too. You don't have to leave it at black. You could put it at whatever color you want. Now notice something that changed. The operation panel now doesn't even give me the option to drop down. But if I hit unflatten, it does give me options. So even though I put it manually on print and cut, that is not always the best option. I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to hit make. Let me minimize this just a little bit because I'm used to having my venture setting on. I'm going to go ahead and click make again. And then notice now what my printer Cricut wants to do. It wants to pretty much print every layer separately, which makes no sense, which is why it is so important to select all and hit flatten. Once we do that, voila, you have your perfect layered print and cut ready to get printed. Okay, again, you can always maneuver here, make more copies, fit as many as you want. I can make a whole nother video on this separately because there's hacks about this part too. But okay, let's go to our second lesson. Now, let's create like a sticker or a tag by ourselves through Cricut Design Space. A print and cut one, of course. I got a shape, which is a simple circle. I'm expanding it just because we're teaching and I want you guys to be able to see everything good. But first of all, we could change up our base, whether we wanted just a white sticker background or if we want a specific color, like how I've shown you guys before. Just go ahead, get creative, get whatever shade that you want. I'm going to try to look for this type of really dainty pink color. So I'm going to go ahead with this one. Now, I have my shape. Now let's go to text. Now we could have fun. I love to mix different texts truly when it comes to tags, things like that. It doesn't have to be all so uniform. So here's my design so far. I just mixed up 3 different type of fonts. Now I wanted to introduce this little option that Cricut Design Space have called Curve. It's actually a lot of fun. This is a very popular style when it comes to stickers or for logos, things like that. I just like to teach you guys little things here and there because it does make the whole process more fun. Okay, so once we're here and we have everything the way we want it, I'm going to go ahead and make all the fonts white. But notice that first font that I use, it is so thin, right? Here's a little trick. Use your offset and put it at like 0.014, just a tad bit more, and change that offset to white. Don't leave it at that automatic black color that it gives you. And notice this, right? So we have it on white, and then I'm going to go ahead and click on it again, and I'm going to hit flatten, and look how nice it looks, right? And that's it's not even done yet because we haven't flattened the whole image, but I'm going to go ahead and just do that for every part. So for my number, and especially for this little dainty font for years, I'm going to do the same offset since this is such a thin font and I do want it to show. I'm going to put it at 0.014. Go ahead and put it at white, click on it, flatten it. Now I'm going to select everything together and do what we've been doing this whole time, which is making sure that we do not click attach, and we're going to select everything and we're going to always click flatten. I just want to teach you guys how important to know when to attach something and when to flatten something. When it comes to print and cut, your tool flatten and unflatten is going to always be your best friend. Now let me show you another example. Let's say that we're browsing through Cricut Design Space and we find one of these pre-made images that we really like, and maybe we kind of want it to be like a print cut sticker, but it's kind of used for like layering and for vinyl and things like that. So if I click make it just how it is, even though it kind of looks like a pre-made print and cut, if I hit make it, notice operation was at basic cut, it's gonna literally have my Cricut cut out every single piece. This would be great for like a permanent vinyl type of decal, right? Now let's say I selected it and I went to operation and I manually put it to print and cut, which is the mistake that a lot of new crafters do. And then we hit make it. And then now everything is all like not together. It's all separated. Makes no sense. Again, what is our key thing here? Select it all and we hit flatten. You see, flatten is your best friend. And then now, of course, there's no other options when it comes to operations. We click make it and there we go. Now our Cricut knows exactly what we want to do and how we want to do it. Thank you so much for watching. Love you guys.